Liberal RT Boxing Show, the Ready Talk Boxing Show, with me, your host, Mr. A. And as the title suggests, Errol Spence Jr. versus Yordenis Ugas, why it makes perfect sense. Now, if I know there's some people who says he shouldn't fight Yordenis Ugas next. You know, what does it do for him? He said he wants to fight Jesse Vargas, better for his legacy. I disagree with that. Now, I've been talking about Ugas ever since the Eliminator. Going into that fight, I've been talking about Ugas when I did the breakdown and prediction for the whole fight card of the Errol Jr. Campos card. I was talking about, I wish Ugas fight could make the televised showing, because it'd give the Errol, because like I said, I knew that crowd was going to show out. I knew that crowd was going to be live, and I knew, like, if they would have saw Ugas, well, I don't know how much that crowd was live that I saw the Ugas fight, but if television would have saw Ugas do his second round knockout of his opponent Batista, and they built this was a rivalry since the amateur, a good enough story, and like, dude, this dude knocked him out, and then you got Errol Spence knocking his dude out, and then you're like, oh well, that Ugas guy, he's in line to fight Errol Spence next. They both knocking each other opponents out. The storyline was there for PBC, Heyman, Spence to have a good fight. But the fact that he's not on TV, it was missed by a lot of people. And I was hoping, because even the crowd was so. At least, like I said, I wasn't there. Of course, I wasn't there live, but on TV, it looked like the crowd was so for Granados and Javier. Like I said, if Fortuna, if Ugas could have got a good crowd showing, especially on live TV, if he could have made a TV card and on TV knocked someone out, all those, it averaged at like 690,000, peaked at 7 something. All those eyeballs could have saw Ugas knock someone out and go to like I said, and down something like, okay, he's knocking people out. Errol Spence is knocking people out in the early rounds. That's his next fight. It could have been so good. Now, going on, like I said, I've been building for that fight because I think it's really good for Errol Spence, and now I'm going to get into why. There's a lot of people out there saying Ugas don't deserve it. What has he done? Who has he fought? Who gives a rat's ass? I don't care how the rankings work. You could go up and down the board at any weight class, and you're going to find something wrong with somebody's organization body's rankings. But as boxing fans, what gives us a little sanity is to go within the rules, so we don't always have to worry about people bitching and fucking up fights, So, like, the rules for the IBF and most sanctioned bodies is every 9 months you got to fight your mandatory. Now, yes, he just fought Errol Spence just defeated Carlos Ocampos, and the reason he was mandatory because number 1 and number 2 spots were vacant. And if you know the sanctioned bodies, IBF is the only one who doesn't fill their top 2 spots. They give eliminators for their top two spots. Now, other unsanctioned bodies, they let you fight for title eliminators. IBF lets you fight for those 2 spots. It's kind of the same thing, but they don't fill them. They don't fill those spots. And Ugas fought Robinson, and he got number 2. So that's why number 1 is still open. IBF is waiting for to fill that spot. And Mr.A is going to do another video, because this is Errol Spence. I want to concentrate this, but and plus to help my channel grow, I need this show to grow. I'm going to do another video on who I think Errol Spence's next mandatory is going to be. Stay tuned. Check on it. Check back here, and you'll find out what Mr.A is thinking for that number 1 IBS spot. Now, why I think Ugas and Errol Spence makes perfect sense right now, and is definitely a better legacy move for Errol Spence right now. Now get this out. He says he wants to fight Jesse Vargas. Yeah, he has a nice name. 2-division champion. Yeah. But Jesse Vargas just came off a questionable draw against Adrian Broner. And up until that point, we were all shitting on Adrian Broner. Don't let his hands go. He don't do this. He don't do that. Yeah, Adrian Broner decides to let his hands go the second fight. Jesse Vargas looked like shit the second half of that fight, tired out, and possibly could have lost that fight to some people. What good is that Jesse Vargas really going to do for Errol Spence? A guy who possibly lost to Adrian Broner, this stage of Adrian Broner, the one we all shit on all over the internet. That Jesse Vargas. And seriously, how many people out there even give Jesse Vargas a shot in hell to beat Errol Spence Jr.? A flat-footed Mexican style who's going to be right there for man down. Seriously. What fucking chance does Jesse Vargas have? I'm not shitting on Jesse Vargas. The dude's a real good guy for boxing. Takes on all challengers. No back down. You know. But realistically, what chance is anyone giving Jesse Vargas against Errol Spence? He has the same shot, the same percentages that Yordenis Ugas has. But what Yordenis Ugas brings to the table is a different fighting style. You know, I know he's not black, but he's Cuban, so two different styles. You can have a Cuban schooled fighter on your resume. You can have a so-called slick movement fighter on your resume instead of a flat-footed Mexican. So more versatile styles on your resume. Because if you look at Errol Spence's resume, it's pretty good as for fighting styles. He had Carlos Ocampos, who's not as flat-footed Mexican as you think he is. You got Lamont Peterson, a mover. Kell Brook, a mover. Bundu, a mover. Algeri, a mover. Alexandro Barrera, a banger Mexican style. Chris Van Herden, a boxer. La Greco, kind of a boxer. You know, Sammy Vargas, for a Mexican, pretty slick. A low-grade slick guy. You know, and he's actually a champion right now. So back then, you know, that was a nobody fight, but he's like a WBA and ABF welterweight champion right now. So that Sammy Vargas defeat is actually a good one on Errol Spence's record. Now, saying all that, Jesse Vargas and Yordenis Ugas, the fighting style is better for Errol Spence to defeat Ugas. That's my reason number one. I think it's the fighting style is a better matchup. Jesse Vargas is going to be right there. He's going to get the shit beat out of him. Yordenis Ugas is slick enough to make Errol Spence show some footwork, show some maybe cutting the ring off. You know, he's going to have to do more work, more technique to get Yordenis Ugas out. Is it the same about percentages to get him out of there? Probably. But he's going to show more of his craft than he would have to against Jesse Vargas. Now, reason number two, and which is the most important reason, Errol Spence's legacy. Remember, that's what Errol Spence wants. He wants big names for his legacy. Now, I get it. Yordenis Ugas don't have the legacy name. But what he can do is get the legacy ball rolling. He can get the legacy ball rolling big time. And by that, I mean, when you go into the rankings, and if you look at the IBF rankings, you got Ugas, Vargas, Alexander, Cordorajo, Lorana, Obera, Tutarov, Ellis, Adames, Clayton, Bernavero, Toth, and Ugas. Already you see Errol Spence don't have a legacy building names. But what Ugas can offer is he's a talented fighter. And no one is rushing to beat Ugas. If you take away the top 5 welterweights, take away the champs, take away Spence, take away Crawford, and take away Keith Thurman. Those are 3. So that leaves you Danny Garcia, Porter, and who else? Exactly. Who else? It's a stacked division, but really who's dominating besides those 3 champions, Porter and Garcia? Ugas is a good fighter. No one's rushing to beat him. So if Errol Spence could get this guy out at a young stage, it's going to be a good victory on his record. Now, third is the most important. I'm sorry. 2 is just, it'll be a good victory. Get him out now. But no one is, even though Ugas already lost, he's improved since that loss, and no one is taking him on. So if Errol Spence could knock him out right now and get him on his record, that victory in the long run is going to gain more value to it. Now, third, the most valuable, this video went way longer than I thought it would be, but the most valuable reason is the legacy ball rolling. And people say, why should he fight another mandatory? Think about it, guys. If you're a big Errol Spence fan, this is what you want. You want him to fight Ugas now. If you're just a best fight the best fan, you want him to fight Ugas now. Now I get to why it makes sense. He fought a combo. Mandatory out the way. Now remember what I said earlier. Every 9 months you fight a mandatory. If he fights Ugas, that's 2 mandatories out of the way. That's 18 months. No distractions. A year and a half. You know what Errol Spence could do for his legacy in a year and a half? That's about 5 fights. No distractions. Errol Spence gets to pick what he wants. IBF is going to say, okay, because right now that vacant number 1 spot is vacant. So they're gonna have a title eliminator for that spot, a title eliminator for number 2, and they're not going to make him fight number 3 or number 4 because he already fought 2 mandatories. He's going to get about a good year and a half of mandatory free boxing. And Errol Spence fights about 3. He wants to fight about 3 times a year. So a year and a half, that's about anywhere from 3 to 5 fights. Free distractions. And we know he's only going to get what? Possible 1 unification, maybe 2 if Thurman pops out. So he's already been on record saying Al Haymon gave his word. He gets this Porter Garcia winner. So he's going to get that fights early next year. So if he fights Ugas now, he gets Garcia next. I say Garcia. That's why I picked to win that fight. So that's 2 for that one. And then after that,
you're getting up there, boy.
Who else do I get? Who else? So after that, he gets to choose whatever the hell he wants. That's why I said this is a legacy starter. Fighting Ugas is his legacy rolling ball. Let me know what you think. I'm your host, Double R of the Double RT Boxing Show. You're Mr. A. Leave your comments down below. Oh, and if you want to follow me on Twitter, I just got on Twitter. RRTB Show. Double RTB Show. Thank you.